Because when Dave Chappelle starts, like, when he breaks character or can't keep from laughing, like, the whole place can't help but laugh too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, I do know what you're saying.
Yes, I do know what you are saying.
Okay, how about now? You guys are live.
Yay. Oh, it said we were live.
Oh yeah, no, I'm watching us right now.
Yay.
We're definitely live.
How come it didn't? Oh, there it is right there.
Steve RC, can you hear us?
Okay, we can hear everybody.
Wonderful.
All right, so we're back, and for real this time. There we go. So, okay. So anyways, so what I was trying to say was that I was late today because I was doing some stuff at home and I lost track of time, but I was trying to get it all done. I would have had more time, but I went and rode my scooter trying to track down some kickstarts today and had to go to the Casey's down the street, and they're terrible, so they didn't have any. Mm-hmm. Then I went to a Shell station about 3 miles away, which is like my backup source when I'm over there, and they didn't have any. So then I drove by this new little quick shop in the Baker's parking lot, and they had a whole bunch of them. They were on sale, so I got those, and then it started raining while I was on my scooter. So, really? Yeah. So I was like, well, that sucks. And so Emerson asked me why in the world I was going on my scooter, and it's because I didn't have any gas in my truck, and I didn't want to drive my truck today. And he's like, dude, it's going to rain, and you're going to fall. And so then I found a spot to sit and under a tree, because it wasn't raining that hard, but it was raining enough where the streets were definitely getting slick. And I called Emerson and I said, hey, can you come get me so you can bring me home, but also tell me how right you were? And he was like, you fell? And I'm like, no, I didn't fall. I just need your help. I don't want to ride. Because the people in Omaha are so stupid and crazy. I had another person like drive by me last night.
They're also dumb.
Dude, last night I had a person drive by me illegally, pass me in the middle lane, which isn't a lane. It's all sand and everything. I've had that happen twice in the last week.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about it is both times, this person got the light in front of us, and I pulled up right behind him. And I'm like, good job. Like, this time I honked and I waved at him. I was like, hey, still here. You know?
I hate that.
Dude.
I had somebody do that to me on when I had my ruckus. They it was like we're 2 lane. It's 2 lanes. I'm like behind the like. I wasn't like holding up traffic or anything. I was less than a car length behind the vehicle in front of me. This person whips out from behind me and gets in the turn lane, and it turns in back into 1 lane and whips right in front of me, and I have to like slam on the brakes to keep him from like running me off of the off of the lane. And it was like, am I just like invisible? Like, what did I do? Like, and I wasn't like going slow. Like, there was literally a red light in front of us. I don't understand what that was all about.
Yeah. This one yesterday, I was going up Ida. It's the one hill I have to go up on my way home. So my Navi drops from like 50. I try to keep like my pace up, you know, and I try to like time the light because there's a light, and sometimes I'll get the light before. Sometimes I'll get the light, and if I get the light, then I can't go fast up the hill at all. But sometimes if I time it right, I can just be full throttle, and then halfway up the hill, you know, I drop down a little bit. But if that happens, I only drop down to 40, and the speed limit's 40. So I get it. I speed in my truck. I speed everywhere. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that gets on my nerves the most is bicyclists in the middle of the street during rush hour. Like, if it was only a misdemeanor to run those people over, I would love to run those people over, but can't do that. So I get it to an extent, but I'm doing the speed limit. I'm not doing 10 miles an hour, you know, and it's only going to take 5 seconds for me to get to the top of the hill, and then I'll be back up to 45, 50 miles an hour again, you know?
Yeah.
And the other one was a little bit farther down. It's on Fort Street. And I was actually stuck behind a cement truck going slower than I would have gone. and this douche canoe passed me in the middle lane and sprayed sand all over me. And then I watched him. Yeah, I watched him. He got the light in front of us, and then he turned into the same come and go station that I was going to go to. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, here we go. I wanted to say something so bad. Yeah. But it was morning, and I was like going to be just on time for work, and I'm like starting to make excuses in my head on how I shouldn't say anything because it'll turn into a thing and it'll take more time, and then I'll be late for work over it.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a thing.
But I wanted so bad. I wanted to just be like, good job, or you just be super disrespectful. And I doing the thumbs up thing to somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, to me, is so funny when you just go like, hey, good job, like that. I've gotten in a couple fights, arguments
really?
at an RC track doing that. I think I've talked about it here once before.
I think you have.
Yeah. Anyways, what have you been doing?
I've been working on the Honda Trail 70. My neighbor had just bought a CT90. It's like the Honda, like, I think it's just like called the Trail 90.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a late 70s. I don't know. I rode it yesterday. It was pretty cool. It doesn't have first gear for some reason, but I think that there's like a pin or a key in the transmission on that gear that's like stripped. So just because you can hear the gear still spin after you shut it off.
Yeah.
But that thing was actually a pretty cool little bike. I'd never ridden one before, and I rode it for probably 15 minutes yesterday. And I've been doing that and just working. The engine for my Trail 70 is still over at my friend Mikey's shop, and getting closer to having it done. And it's like I get over there, and then we end up like screwing around or like visiting for like an hour.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like, okay, now I can work on it. It's like, all right, ready to go home, and so finally get like one or two things done, which is fine. I don't care, not a big deal. And then, yeah, I had to order some more parts for it. Got some light bulbs and ordered a battery. I ended up just ordering one on Amazon. I don't know, it's like $20.
Yeah.
For a battery for it. So we'll see. It's a Bike Master one, so it should be good. My wife and I looked at cats yesterday. We went to the cat house. We filled out the adoption paperwork, and they had to do a background check on us. It's like getting a kid. Getting a cat from that place is like getting a kid.
Yeah, we had to do the same thing in Humane Society when we adopted Bean. Mm-hmm. And then the dog before that.
Oh, really?
Which got brought back in like a day after, by the way.
Yeah, I remember that story. But,
so.
Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe we'll end up with a cat. I don't know. It'd be cool.
They won't have a reason to deny you a kitty.
Yeah, I know.
Especially because you like already had one.
Oh yeah, no.
I think they're looking for like abuse, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Where are we at? There's not much to talk about today. I did want to talk about the Ronettes. We should probably do our intro. You want to do our intro?
Oh, yeah. We haven't started the show officially.
Yeah, officially. Hey, everybody out there. This is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex. I'm manager and race director. And with me, as always,
I'm Will Brenton.
Is Will Brenton. And, yeah, he's not race director or manager, but he is associated team driver, and all around good guy.
I try to be. I do what I can.
We're kind of coming to the end of our dirt season. You can kind of feel it. Can't you feel it? I can kind of feel it.
Yeah, it's like when Punk's dead,
I mean, we didn't officially race on Saturday.
like the end of the '60s, you know, when hippies are not a thing anymore, you know.
But it's weird. Like we didn't race Saturday, but it didn't bother me at all. We had enough for Plex spec. I did a count. I came back at like 120 because there wasn't enough people there. I had to go home and grab this monitor. I was trying to do some stuff with a new webcam for the track.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and I did a count, and we could have a Plex spec class, then like 2 or 3 people in Wheeler and 2 and 3 people in stock and 2 and 3 people in mod. And I was just like, you know what? Let's just take a vote. And everybody that was there raised their hand when I said, you want to just have an open track day and let's get some laps, kind of like we did a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And that was fine. Here's the thing. A couple years ago, remember when I had my panic attack?
Yes.
Okay. So I had
on my birthday.
Yes, it was. You're totally right. I remember that now. But
so that was like 2 or 3 years ago Thursday.
Yes, it was 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thursday's my birthday.
We didn't race that day either. And I think that was one of the things that compounded how that all went down. Because I was really worried. I was like, holy crap, like we're not going to have a race program, you know, my life's going to be over, blah, blah, blah. And so, but this time, these things don't bother me anymore. You know why? The store did freaking awesome that day. Like, what does it matter? If we don't have a race day every once in a while on a Saturday in the summertime, I used to freak the F out. And now I don't. I'm just like, and then I went up and I looked at the total for the day at the end of the day and I'm like, wow. Huh. I'm like, we're good. Everything's fine. So didn't bother me. And we raced Friday. We had 40 entries on a Friday night during the summertime. I was happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I actually kind of liked it. That's kind of like,
yeah.
I ran my car twice. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really feel like driving my car today.
Oh yeah, you gotta save those tires.
Yeah, well that too, but the track needs some work. I'm gonna that's what I'm doing tonight. Right after we're done, I'm going straight to the track. Gonna work on that one side I want to change for the summer series, and then I'm gonna try to patch up a bunch of holes. There's a giant hole in the back of the tabletop back there. That thing only has to hold together for a couple more weeks. So, Then we got our. Did you see our swap meet we're gonna do? We're gonna try to do flea market swap meet thing on September 3rd. That I announced. Hold on, I'm gonna get the date right. Hold on, I'm gonna get the date right here. Hang on. When did I? I'm gonna get the date right. Let's see. That was 3 days ago. It's like going back in time when you do the post. Did you see the new sign? Have you seen the new signs? The new poster, not posters, the new
oh, yeah, outside.
Yeah, those are really cool. Plus they're updated. Like there was a 22.4 1.0 on it. August 4th. That's what I was going to say, but I wanted to make sure I was right. So August 4th I announced the swap meet. Our next official free day is Labor Day weekend, Saturday the 3rd. We're still going to race that Friday night, but Freedom.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how I can make my sound louder.
I'm watching your levels. I mean, they're a little lower, but they were just as low as they were when we did the other one that started out first when nobody could hear me. So
yeah, how is it now?
It's a little. I don't think it's on. I don't think it's you. I don't think it's on your side, unless
okay.
Your mic might not be plugged in all the way.
Well, it's plugged into my headphones.
Oh, hey, okay. Well, here's what you do. Do you see the little volume thing on the bottom? The bottom right. Is there a little volume? Yeah. Okay, right click on that.
Oh.
And do you see where it says Open Volume Mixer?
Oh.
You can open your volume mixer and you can see if you can turn it up on your side.
How's this?
The output.
Is it better? Ooh, is it better? Can you hear me more?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Okay. What's this one? Is this louder? Is this better? Test, louder. Anything?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know the pros over here. He's going to chime in.
Oh, John Haas says better. Okay. Cool.
All right.
All right. Look at you.
Yeah.
Dude, the sound stuff sucks. Every once in a while, something will go wrong sound wise at the track, and it makes me want to pull my hair out.
Yeah.
Not my favorite thing.
Whenever I hear somebody doing the test, check, I always think of that Saturday Night Live that has what's his name? That guy. Who's the guy in Castaway? And
Tom
Forrest
Hanks?
Gump?
Tom
Yeah,
Hanks?
Tom Hanks. When he's dressed up like a roadie for Aerosmith, and he's grabbing all the mics. He's like, check, test, check. You remember that?
I don't.
Sibilance.
Yeah. Simulants.
Dude, I don't watch Saturday Night Live very much anymore.
I don't either.
They're
I
almost
remember
like
that.
super annoying. It's one of the most annoying shows on TV now.
More so than this. Well,
Like, I have nothing in common with the cast they have at all, so I don't really watch it that much. But sorry, I don't know how long ago that was either.
Oh, that was Wayne's World era.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and find it.
Was on Wayne's World.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would have been, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I can go back and find it. Dude, speaking of that, holy crap, before we get to what I want to talk about today, I watched parts. I'm only halfway through it. The South Park 25th anniversary concert is mind-bogglingly
oh, it's good.
phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
God, those guys. Man. I didn't know they played instruments.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, they do
Matt
all the
Stone's
music.
playing drums, bass, guitar, and Trey's playing the piano.
Yeah.
I had no idea. None
Yeah,
whatsoever.
No, they do all the music for all the
And-
like Rent or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Think about
Team America World Police. Like they did all that.
and think about the songwriting ability.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it's like this, like most of the songs in South Park are a little, what's the word? Vulgar?
Yeah. Sure.
But the songs, if you actually like the Kanye West song, the fish dick song,
yeah.
I'm a gay fish. That song's hilarious, but it's actually kind of a good song.
Yeah. No.
You know?
And like they
Freaking
won an
brilliant.
Oscar. They won an Oscar for.
They got nominated. They didn't win it though.
Nominated?
No, it was Blame Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got nominated for that.
I thought they won.
They did win an Emmy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Academy would never give those two an Oscar.
Because that's when they went. They're they were on substances. And,
Yeah.
And they're in dresses. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I watched half of that, but now I gotta work on the track and all that stuff, and so I'll watch it maybe I'll watch it tomorrow night. The rest of it, I should be done with everything, and I'm trying to get Emerson's drag car put back together. My drag car is good to go. I might try to go drag racing on Sunday because I have Sunday off, but Emerson doesn't. Emerson works Sunday, so he's gonna miss out on the whole drag racing thing again. Emerson goes back to school on Wednesday.
Is he a sophomore this year?
He's a sophomore, and to be honest with you, am I a bad parent if I don't take like pictures of him before he goes to school in the morning and post them on Facebook?
I think you are.
God,
I'm just kidding. No,
because it's
my
not
parents
that
never did it.
special.
Yeah.
That is a dumb trend.
It's not that special. He's a sophomore now. Who gives a shit about sophomores? Like seriously. Freshman, I gotta get it. Senior, absolutely. It's a senior year. Sophomore, who cares? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Nobody ever did that for me. My mom's like, well, I gotta go to work at like 4 a.m. in the morning. Nobody. Make sure you're on school on time.
Yeah. I never got any of that.
He is driving himself. He's driving himself. That is kind of cool. So, I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, He's got a cool truck. And he's driving himself. I want to see him like bring a blonde home for dinner sometime.
Yeah.
You know?
Grandbabies? You want grandbabies?
I want grandbabies, not now, but I'm just saying like maybe this will be the year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dad, I want to bring blankety blank over. Can you please not embarrass me?
Too late.
Too late. I am so 100% ready to embarrass my son over anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways. Hey, guess what's going on this week?
I don't know what.
First, this show is brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you mention our show to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, and you get 0.125 off your interest rate or $500 lender credit.
Wow, that's a deal.
Yeah, I almost forgot. We need more sponsors.
Yeah,
I'm.
you should get like.
I love having Pivot as a sponsor, but we need more. I'm gonna start working on that for us.
We need to get like men's. Or wait, what is that?
Manscaping.
Manscaped.
Manscaped.
Yeah. You get Manscaped and was it like Athletic Greens? And all those other they sponsor
all the
podcasts.
Yeah, all the YouTube ones.
Yeah, and we'll have to do our own commercials. We'll be like, "Hi, I'm Will Brenton, and this is Alex Sturgeon for Athletic Greens." You might think you're getting enough greens, but you're not. Trust me.
You know who's really good at that? Is 3D Bot Maker, the Hot Wheels racing channel that I watch. They're sponsored by Ridge Wallet. They do some really, really good ones.
The Harmontown podcast, their show or their commercials were always really good. They would like pick a song and like the theme for SpongeBob and make it like a green tea mattress commercial, or Duncan Trussell. You ever listen to his podcast, the Duncan Trussell Family Hour?
Mm-mm.
His commercials are really good, and he has like adult novelty toy sponsors.
Oh, nice.
For the show. Like if anybody's gonna give him money, he'll take it. Like it's really good. So anyway.
Chad Daniels does one for an online psychology psychiatrist type thing.
Yeah.
And they're kind of funny. He kind of integrates it in a little bit. But they're a little bit more serious of a tone. Not the podcast, but the commercial.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, this weekend is the 2022 Roar 110 Scale Off-Road Nationals. And I just wanted to pick your brain over what you thought, maybe some I don't know what do you call that? Predictions?
Yeah, predictions.
What do you think?
My prediction were just mod classes.
Yeah, we'll start with the mod classes. So I'm actually looking at the 2-wheel drive mod. There's only 37 entries, which that in itself is kind of a bummer. Is that in stock buggy there's 35, mod buggy there's 37, 40 and over. Dude, where was 40 and over in 2000? Well, I wasn't 40. That's why there wasn't. But 40 and over, man. Anyways.
Do you think that they did that just because the entry count's lower?
I hope not. But I do have a thing I want to bring up here. Let's see. 13.5 4-wheel drive buggy 39, so that'll probably be the biggest class of the weekend. 4-wheel drive mod with 35. Stadium truck with 17. Mod truck, that's stock stadium. No, sorry. 13.5 stadium truck with 17. Mod truck with 13. And 10 short course entries. That must be a new record.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't been 10 short course entries in a long time.
How many entries total then?
It doesn't say because it's not uploaded to LiveRC and I didn't take the time to count.
Oh.
But think about this though. The Hoosier race that I'm going to,
yeah,
there's like 67 entries in 13.5 4-wheel drive. expert.
Yeah, I know.
And they divided expert and independent.
No, that's what I'm getting at.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the INS races to me feel almost more like a national event than the national event.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was driving at here.
I mean, some of it has to do with the cost. It's $100 an entry, so I get that.
Well, some of it has to do with having bumps, Hey.
Probably, yeah, no doubt.
What do we know? We're just a couple idiots from Nebraska.
Yeah, what do we know? All right, some names that stick out again. I mean, it's kind of the same. Let's face it, it's kind of the same as it always is. But I have some sleepers just because of the kind of track. It's a slick track. They're running slicks from the get-go, right? Mm-hmm. But obviously, Spencer Rivkin, Ty Tessman, Cole Tollard, there's Dakota. Ryan Mayfield's going to be there. They're all there. Mason Fuller signed up. That'll be interesting.
Oh, really?
I don't think he's raced. I don't think he's raced 10 scale in a while.
A couple years, I thought.
So I wonder he's going to have the new Hot Bodies car.
I wonder.
That would be cool. Dustin Evans.
And on like high grip, like they're going to be running on, I bet it works pretty good.
Yeah.
Isn't it like a carpet specific vehicle?
Yeah, it is supposed to be. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The Champlins, Cavallari. But I have some sleepers. Chase Lemieux signed up.
Mm-hmm.
And he could kind of throw down, I think. Because I know he's been really fast at trackside for at least the last year that I can remember, just looking at results and stuff. Harley Yoshi. He's in there. Who's another one that I saw? Of course, Setzer. Billy Easton is signed up.
He's been racing more, hasn't he?
Yeah, it seems that way.
What car is he even running?
I don't know. He's even signed up at the Hoosier race, but he's on the list. He's on the cut list as of today, so it'll be interesting to see if some of these guys actually go. Ron Duvall, there's another one. Ron Duvall's signed up and registered. And if you're on this, you're already paid. Everything's good to go. So he's another one that's really good, especially on slick tracks.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Two-wheel mod. It's going to be.
Well, I think that Dakota's definitely going to be a contender because he always is. Then after that, probably like Ty Spencer or Brock.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of think, and I think it'd probably be kind of a toss up between those four. Well, I think as long as Dakota doesn't have problems, because there's that carpet race that didn't his 2-wheel or his 4-wheel like just keep shutting down.
Yeah, something was wrong. They weren't telling people what it was, so you don't really know what it was. But yeah, I agree. I think it's Dakota. He's been on such a roll, and he almost seems unstoppable in a way. Especially right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and then the other thing too, or the other person that I was kind of thinking of was like if I had like a dark horse, it'd probably be like Mason or Tom. Because if Mason's going to be there, he's kind of who knows how good he's going to do.
Well, and it's kind of Tom's new home track too.
Yeah. So so that's Tom's home track. He knows the surface. I mean, Tom could end up getting one in on those guys. That'd be pretty cool.
Every time you do what you just did, your mic goes crazy.
Stop itching your face.
Stop itching your face.
My face is itching.
No, it was interrupting your thought there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, that'd be cool if Tom snuck one in on him,
Mm-hmm.
Being his home track and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at them. I'm looking at the field of Mod 2-wheel, and I'm not seeing any slouches. So, even though there's only 35 entries in Mod 2-wheel, I think it's going to be really hard to make the main.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's just.
It's like the bar is still there, but there's just less rungs.
Mm-hmm. Same thing. There's only 35 four-wheel drive entries, and it's all the same guys. So very interesting. Four-wheel drive though, I can see Brock with as good as he's been, and again being a slick track, where you don't have to do anything. You just run slicks and make sure that the foams are good, and I could see that being. I could see that being the same sort of battle at that carpet race where it was Dakota, Brock, and Spencer kind of mixing it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's just what I think. Look at Mod Stadium Truck. There's only 13 entries. Ryan Cavallari, Dustin Evans, Aiden Horn, Chase Lemieux, Charlie Mariana, Dominic Passione, Dakota Fenn, Adam Rails, Spencer Rivkin, Tater Sontag, Ty Tessman, Brent Thelke, and Cole Tollard. There's not a single name in there that can't make the main. Like holy crap. I mean, it's gonna be a 3-truck B main, but still, even the B main would be nuts.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
I saw in stock too, so that Brennan Schimmel is signed up. So I'm not saying it'd be over, but that dude is so fast in stock.
Yeah.
So
he was going faster than mod 4-wheel.
all the rest of the guys, I mean, more power to you. Tyler Patnoud's going to be there. Caden Fuller, I see him is in there. He is in there. That's pretty cool. Look at Jake Thayer. I haven't seen too much of him since OCRC closed down. Mason Templeman, Nate Sutherland, our guy, Hobbyplex local, Nate Sutherland.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. Mains are on Sunday. I might be able to actually watch some, depending on what I do on Sunday.
Yeah. I might be able to as well also.
Because I will not be working. So.
Mm-hmm.
Couple things that I saw that they've revised the over voltage rule for batteries.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So they made it so if you're I think up to 0.02 volts over, that you can run it off and try again, but you only get one shot.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's the way I read that.
That's a step in the correct direction.
Yeah, and the way I had it explained to me was that if you can just burn it off, and let's say you're like 844 or 848 or something, and you can just burn it down. The way that was explained to me was that you're saying it's okay. It's just all right to overcharge your batteries, but I mean,
our batteries are all high voltage.
I know, it's kind of an old rule. It's kind of like in the rule book. For years, it said you had to have a spur gear cover.
Yeah.
And there was a guy wanting to enforce that rule at the Roranats, and I was there at Mimi's track, and I was like, no, the body is the gear cover, dude. You don't need a.
Yeah.
As long as the body's on now, so that's a rule for a B4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Was it somebody that we know?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, see, dumb stuff like that's why I don't want to be on Roar anymore. I just can't stand it.
Yeah.
I get the rules in there, and it does suck that Roar, I say we, but I haven't been on Roar for a while, but it does suck that Roar has not had anybody willing to take the time and go through and actually really clean up the rule book and get it republished, because that was supposed to, when I was there, this was 2015. They had supposedly, the vice president at the time was supposed to do that. Nobody ever heard from the vice president ever again. So they had to get a new one. They had to appoint a new one because it was an off year or something like that. And so then that project just went away. And it still hasn't happened.
Well, the the problem is a lot of the guys that are involved with roar are like it's like they're not they don't race 10 scale off road. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like how would they know if they're not like you know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah,
they
but
can enforce the rules that are there, but like
but
you know
that
they're not involved like you or I would be.
but there was a lot of rules that went across platforms, not just 10 scale. There was a lot of stuff. There's the whole rule book needs some major cleaning and republishing to this day. And it's not just 10 scale. It's not just 10 scale.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you've got guys on Roar, the XCOM now that race 10 scale. And Chuck Kleinhagen owns a 10 scale track.
Oh, well,
that was one of the weird things that, like, when sorry to interrupt you, but when we held the Nats, you know, guys were coming up to me going, "Hey man, who's that guy? Does he even know anything about 10 scale?" I'm like, "Dude, he owns Fastlane."
Yeah.
In Kansas City.
No,
like, are you kidding?
Don't get me wrong. I was talking about my experience back then.
You're talking about the RMT.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
So.
You meant the RMT, the race management team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it could be different now. I don't know.
Yeah. The voltage thing though, our batteries can go up to 4.35, so it's kind of like me. I just pick one, right? So oh my God. And then so check this out. So they actually made, this is so funny. I just saw this and I remembered it. Roar modified their voltage rule, remember, to 8.44.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we looked it up before the was it
yes. Yeah.
I looked it up and I'm like, holy crap, they did change that. My bad. I'm sorry. We'll go by 8.44.
Mm-hmm.
This post says racers who present a vehicle technical inspection, the battery voltage exceeds the allowable 4.20.
Yeah.
So what they meant to say was 4.22, not 4.2. They don't even know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I'm sorry, guys. Get it together.
I forgot about
4.4. It's 8.44. There is even I can go back here and I can find it. I bet you they're getting bombarded with emails, or at least when I was comp director, if something like this would have happened and they put out 4.20 when they actually voted and changed it to 4.22,
mm-hmm.
my inbox would be full when I was comp. It would have been full. I bet you the comp director whoever's like, "What's this?" And then they
well, it's like, you know, who's proofreading that?
Yeah.
Who posted it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, the guy that did it, you know, made a mistake.
Obviously, I mean, obviously,
they changed it back.
Yeah,
they changed it.
You know, boy, I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, you would. Trying to find it here because I think they did it before the start of this year's nationals, maybe.
Yeah.
Carpet on-road rules reminder. That's the weight. Boy, this is going back to even older. See, that's part of the problem too. Is they post these on the site, and then you're supposed to go back and find them, but there's no real way to search for this stuff if they don't. If they don't put it in there, you know what I'm saying? Minimum weight changed. That's June of 2021. I might just Google it because they must have did that a while ago. And then the other thing that I saw was the tire thing. They're trying to make sure because slick tracks are always weird for the rules because in the rules it kind of infers you're not supposed to grind your tires. But if you have a track that's a slick track, which is what most 10 scale tracks are doing. I mean, look at ours. Most 10 scale tracks are going that way. They're making it work.
Yeah.
You know.
Instead, what did the rules say? Like visible ghosted tread.
Yeah, visible ghosted tread.
So what tread are they? Is the handout tread? Is it ellipses?
I think it's silver ellipses.
Huh. Why wouldn't they just have smoothies for the handout?
They probably don't have any in stock.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't have committed to smoothies if it was going to be a... Because even the team drivers like you and me have trouble getting smoothies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why. I mean, if they know well ahead of time, the last time I held the Nats, I made it a point to get that figured out way ahead of time and have the right amount of tires ordered. But I don't know. You're right. They should just make them. I mean, if the handle tire is smoothie, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. The tire thing, I just think, because they're doing a host tire sauce again. Remember what a pain in the butt that was? Mm-hmm. What's the point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the smoothie thing, you got to have visible ghost tread. Well, again, it's a slick track. Mm-hmm. What's the point?
Is slicked out in the middle and tread on the sides still visible tread? I know you're gonna have people pushing the limits.
Yeah, I think as long as it has the however they mark it on the tire, like we would brand ours, then what does it matter? I don't know. So I'm glad I don't go to those.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they. Because I mean, people are gonna grind them. I don't know. They should just have the gloves off or do. It either needs to be like you turn in your tires after your race and you go up to tech and get your tires and bolt them on in tech and you don't come out of tech with your tires and you bring them back. It needs to be like that ridiculous with that much tech.
Ew.
Or it needs to be just like open. Because there's no way you're going to enforce it.
Yeah.
And I've said that, like, because even at the Roynats I did RMT for, you had guys that weren't legit, and it's like you had guys that were, and it's like you knew the guys weren't. It's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm make it all mod. Like then whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just make it like 8 scale.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily think that there's a problem with the roar thing. I always had some ideas on how we could get a more consistent turnout and make the rules a little bit more racer friendly and all that sort of thing. But but we keep having it. We keep having short course.
Yeah.
Like there's 11 classes now?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that do you think it's gotten to the point where a national title that's not Roar is more significant than Roar? Because is this a world's qualifying year or not?
I think it is.
Yeah.
See, I think that a Roar national title, I feel like a national title like the J Concepts INS series carries more weight to win that thing than a Roar Nationals title did, because you did it over at least 3 different tracks on 3 different weekends and 3 different times of the year and came out on top with all your same equipment.
Yeah.
To me, that carries more weight.
Yeah. See, I had this idea of doing Roar Nationals every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then the off year having qualifying races.
Yeah.
So your Roar Nats would take place the off year of the Worlds, so that you could qualify for the Worlds. Mm-hmm. But then the off year of the Nats would be multiple races, in different segments of the country as qualifying races for the next year's nationals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
That'd be
at
cool.
the time we were struggling to get turnout too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, then why don't we hold this once every 2 years, and then we do qualifying races, and you make those qualifying races. You make them cheaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need the $100 entry if they're just going to be regional qualifying races. You don't necessarily need it to be a regionals. You make it a super regional type thing, like a level 4 event is what they call it. You know,
Right.
But I don't know. That would take some major restructuring. It would take somebody to organize the whole thing, and that's always the problem when it comes to our national organization. It's not like a NASCAR where it's for profit and people are being hired, and you know, there's actually a service you're providing. It's all volunteer.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, their involvement with RC is the same as like ours with the RC, you know, except we're racing, they're making the program. They have day jobs, you know,
yeah,
just like you and I do.
yep.
It would, man, we should have one of those guys on.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about we need more guests, so it's not just you and I all the time.
We still need to try and get Jason on at some point.
I know. Just been so busy. I mean, look at my YouTube thing. My YouTube channel's been slow. Like I haven't had time recently. It's almost like I'm not getting burned out. I'm just lacking the balance between my family and work and me, you know.
I hear you. You know, you get to go fishing. Well, my fishing's like RC, you know.
I do get to go fishing.
Like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know. I talked to you the other night a little bit about it too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Sunday, I think Sunday they were drag racing in Missouri Valley, and I want to go, but at the same time, it's a day off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a flat day off, you know.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about drag racing doesn't go all day. It's usually over by about 2:00.
Yeah.
So I still have half the day. So.
No, that's nice.
Mark, the qualifying events, it would be a thing where you only had to go to one of them. That was my idea. You wouldn't have to make it to all of them. You'd only if there was a super regional on the west, a super regional central, a super regional south, and a super regional east, and you took the top, 20 of each one of those in the mod classes and put them together, you got yourself, 80 entries in mod 2-wheel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. You didn't have to go to all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing that
Actually
seems to be like a topic of discussion is having more emphasis on regional events.
I mean, that's what our summer series is. Look how well it does.
I mean, regional qualifying. Like
right.
Regionals mean something to qualify for.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. And I think that's, again, that's always been something that people have wanted to look at, but a lot of these people that say that aren't willing to be the guy.
Yeah.
The Hobbyplex wouldn't be what it is if I wasn't the guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's that way with Roar. If you don't have a guy,
yeah,
then you're not gonna get it done. So, okay. So Roar predictions. I'm thinking Dakota Fend again. I think I'm not saying he's unstoppable. In 10 scale, I mean, maybe. Right now,
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll see.
He's won every event he goes to.
This could be a crazy year too. I remember this was a while ago, but I remember when Kinwald was dominant for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Of just nobody had a chance. Cavallari was kind of that way for a while. On the nitro side, you know, Mayfield has held that for the last couple of years. I don't know. You're right. He has. I mean, Team TLR has been on a roll at the Roarnats, especially this year.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Well, now we have a special pivot break, and I'm going to use it to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Richard, are you ready? Boop.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Yeah!
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group. Today we have Brian Tattaviano, who is the CEO and owner of Pivot Lending Group. Brian, thanks for joining.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Today we want to discuss where the market's at, what's happened over the last 90 days, last 3 months in the bond market, some technical stuff that you guys will hear today. It was a great time for Pivot to get back in, to record, to let everybody know what's happening, perhaps what might be around the corner. Brian started Pivot Lending 21 years ago?
20 this year, October. October will be year 20.
Lots happened in those times.
The changes here in the bond market and in mortgage interest rates, I started to flash back over that period of time. I've been doing this since 90. And I had a lock in 1990 or 1991. It was for a jumbo mortgage, which at the time was probably $300,000.
Right, totally. In Schaumburg.
Yeah, exactly. It was in Illinois, Glencoe. And I talked to the person the night before, and we discussed rates that were on the rate sheet that came over a fax machine. And the next day, I went to lock the rate in when mortgage rates had come out, and it was a BLS employment report day, and I had no idea what any of that meant. Whatever it was, 9 3/8.
Yeah.
As a 30-year fixed, shot up to 10 1/8, 10 1/4.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I didn't understand. Like, you issued rates yesterday; they were this level. And
right. Can't change that quick.
Shouldn't. They did. So I started to hone in on how rates moved and what impacted them. It's kind of a sad thing. Interest rates are based in large part, the movement of interest rates is based in large part on economic activity. In a positive economy, you have higher incomes, you have more money being spent, and you have higher interest rates in order to keep inflationary pressures on a lower level. When you have a weak economy, you have less disposable income, and as such, the Fed tries to stimulate the economy by lowering interest rates. And they don't actually engage with 30-year fixed rates directly. So this year has been very interesting. We started off in the low threes, high twos, low threes on 30-year fixed rate mortgages. And at its peak in mid-June, we crested 6%. So I started going back. I started out in the 90s, and the 80s is when 82, I believe, that had the highest year-over-year increase as we're seeing today. And it's hard. It's hard as loan originators. It's hard as executive management. It's hard as consumers. Folks that called up looking at a refinance in January and decided to wait are now unable to do so. The biggest impact is with purchase transactions. Your average price has gone up 7, 8, 10% from the beginning of the year as far as the value of the home, depending upon where you're at geographically. And your mortgage payment has gone up. So your affordability level is now eradicated. You're paying so much more than you would have even 6 months ago, not only for the purchase price of the property, but for the mortgage interest rate. And those two worlds cannot exist for an extended period of time. Something has to give. CNBC had an article, June had the highest number of cancellations in residential real estate contracts since the beginning of the pandemic. Consumers just don't have the horsepower. Their 401k has dipped pretty dramatically in the first and second quarter. That takes confidence away from the consumer that they have, the nest egg. You've got the concept of a recession on the horizon. It's becoming more and more topical as far as the media is concerned.
Well, that back to back, right? What is the report that came out? If they're consecutive readings.
Yeah. So if GDP is consecutive, if it's negative consecutively 2 quarters in a row, it's a technical recession.
Yeah. By 1% or less or something like that.
Yeah. So, we're on track for first quarter GDP was negative 1.6. GDP now, as created by the Atlanta Fed, is showing a negative 1.2. So if that holds, we would be in a technical recession as it relates to the U.S. economy. It's sad because of the loss in the Ukraine, but that's kind of lost its media focus.
Isn't that interesting?
There's a war that's going on in Ukraine, right? And it's 5th, 6th, 7th headline, if at all, on any outlet. But I don't think the impact of that war was fully understood on how that was going to, create or have the potential to create a recession. But you're mid fives for a tank of gas. I read an article that car manufacturers are now holding people accountable because they're using less octane in the cars. They're saying, hey, you can't do this. You have to use the 91 or the 87 as a minimum. But there's such a spread between 85 here in Colorado. It's 85 to 91, and it's a huge spread. It's 50 cents from 85 to 91. So, the attraction of using the lower octane is an impact because now your warranty is potentially void. So consumers are struggling. And, I think that the cash flow, what the disposable income, you're seeing this in quarterly earnings from Target, from Walmart, where they're having to discount items in order to reduce the inventory. That's the beginning of a recession.
It's interesting coming in here. I was talking to my buddy Tim, who's down in Kansas City. He owns a sawmill that's a high-end sawmill for woodworkers in Kansas City. Been around 10 years now. 100% disposable income industry, right? I mean, so people are not going to go out and buy that walnut, if they're paying $5, $6 gas. And he said that they are, I forget, it was like 45 or 60% less this year in revenue than where they were year over year in revenue. And it's a huge concern right now. And you just kitchen table economics, you start thinking about how many businesses, and to your point, it's kind of the unintended consequences of our economy, but also the external factors like Ukraine and some of the other things that are happening affecting disposable income industries. And there are a ton of them, right? Like, I mean, a lot of small businesses rely on that extra disposable income. And as these shops, start to close up, I've heard more people losing jobs in the last month with layoffs and closing of stores than what's reporting out there. I mean, you look at the jobs numbers coming down and the payroll going up. It's confusing for me because what I'm hearing on the streets is different than what I'm seeing or reading, but eventually I think that all of that stuff, there's no denying on what's happening, in that area. It's not good.
When inflation becomes a household topic, when supply chain is a common term that high school kids are aware of, there's something deeper in the analysis of what's taking place with, the economic activity. Supply chains are a real thing. And, they were impacted dramatically by, and continue to be, by the pandemic. And politics aside, reality is supply chains have been impacted, which had a transitory effect on increasing of prices because the manufacturer was paying more for raw materials. The shippers were paying more for labor, before fuel prices went up. So everything had an impact. But, oil, gas it touches everything. Every item in that room that you're in, that you're wearing, is impacted by fuel.
Yeah.
Be it the cost of manufacturer, the ability to ship it to you, it's all impacted by oil. And we actually cracked $100. It's been a minute since there was any sustained
on the barrel of oil.
Yeah, both Brent and ICE. So that's a big deal. And it has to do with China. There's some increases in COVID cases in China, which they're expecting will impact demand across the globe as far as, but it'll also impact supply chains. China's still a very relevant part of where we get our goods from.
I appreciate you taking some time out. Let me know if I can help. Give me a call, 402-881-5951. Shoot me a text. Just make sure that you put your name on there and the best way to reach you, whether it's via text or email. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
I thought it'd be funny to put up the most hated man in Nebraska still to this day for some reason. Bill Callahan.
Everybody hates him still?
I do. In fact, I hate whatever team he's actually working for at this time. The last time I knew it was like the Browns. So the Browns became my most hated team in the NFL.
Didn't he have a better record than our Lord and Savior, Jesus Frost?
He might have, but he also inherited some pretty awesome talent, and then continue, and then just like lit the match and watched it burn, type thing. I'm trying to find the 8.44 rules, and I know I saw that.
I know we did too because we pulled it up.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they pulled it down.
Maybe they did.
They went wrong. Maybe they made a wrong post. Who knows what the correct one is?
Maybe they did.
If you're 8.4, you're going to be be good, man.
Yeah, that's true. Just do it. Just do what they say. That's the biggest thing.
Just be under.
Just do what they say.
Dude, I've won all kinds of 13.5 truck races, and I charge my battery to 8.38 or something. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
In two-wheel mod,
Whatever, man.
in two-wheel mod, I'm topping mine out at like 8 point. What is it? 8.2.
Yeah.
I don't go out there with max unless it's the main. I do for the main just to make sure I make runtime, which I haven't had to worry about lately. But
Yeah, and it's 4-wheel. I mean, truck. Like I'm running. We're not beating the power plant as hard as you would in a 4-wheel. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, you gotta be right at the limit. It's like, no, you don't. Just charge it up, dude. Like, you'll be fine. Trust me, it'll be fine. And it's like that initial peak comes off anyway. Like you scrub your tires in for like 2 laps.
yeah, we take like 5 laps before the race, anyways.
Yeah, like
Sometimes. Oh. All right. Well, let's get to comments and we'll try to get out of here. It's I got to go work on the track. So well, that's going to bug me now that I can't find it as quickly. Maybe they did take it down. So we had Steve, John, Bendinger. Bendinger's was the one who brought your live stream camera, which is still in my pit at work. So
I'll get that on Saturday or Friday or whatever.
Yep. Travis Clancy was on here. Corey Tannehill's on here. Brian P. Dan Murillo. All these guys, kind of regulars. Jackson says hi. Jason Haley says hola.
Mm-hmm.
Hola. Jason Haley's working on my pinball cabinet build.
Yeah, he sent me some photos of it. That's who I've been texting.
Cool.
It looks pretty awesome, actually. It's like a whole like cabinet, like with just starting with wood from scratch.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. He has a really nice woodworking shop at his house.
Nice. Jason McCarron was on here. Nick Sneathen. I finally got his car to him from our giveaway, our 100th episode giveaway.
Yeah. Nice.
Steve RC, we actually talked about that already. Steve says, didn't our tech guy for INS say none of the pros were even close to the battery limit? They were all under. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they're like mod 2 like 8.2 is just fine.
Yeah. I mean, with my stock 4-wheel, I made sure it was right there, 8.44.
Yeah.
Every time. And even then it was, one time I actually had to burn it off because I was like 8.45. But then I adjusted my charger. Peter Renault says, we ran a double race day yesterday, so I lost twice as much, but I only needed a couple marshals per race.
That's good.
Yep, that's good. Now I just get rid of the couple. Go to 0. Mark Schmidt, he likes the point series idea, but he thought I meant you had to go to every single one of them. And I'm like, no, that's not it.
The INS one you have to make 3, but
yeah, but that's a national series.
Yeah, right.
This would have been like just a qualifying system for a qualifying system for the Worlds. If your intent is to go to the Worlds, I don't know. It's just something I had thought of a long time ago. Jason Haley says, doesn't mod want a little lower juice so the power isn't wild the first lap?
Yeah, that's right, Jason.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys I don't know if people push it so close. You know what I mean? But yeah, Jason's right.
McCarran says, heard guys like the INS traction, slicks were good, not much guessing on the tires. I will say that is one nice thing about slicks.
Oh yeah.
There's actually quite a few things. I'm starting to get off the tread train, I guess.
Yeah.
I kind of always thought treads were fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now
It's nice to just kind of show up and drive.
Yeah. I mean, when Adrenaline went to slicks and it was consistent, it was a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
You know?
It was, well, and at that race, you know, practice was kind of a free-for-all. You know, it was like, all right, practices now.
Yeah.
You know, and you just went out and ran, like, for a half hour if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And, you know, we weren't really blowing the track off, and, you know, you couldn't have run slicks then. And it's like,
No.
Well, all right, now we're racing, and then they're blowing the track off every run. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, slicks, I guess.
Yeah.
And, you know, you look at that surface, like, there's no way slicks are going to work on this surface. And they did.
Yeah.
You know? And it kind of, like, it's like with the newer compounds compared to what we ran before, when slicks will work, the track looks different now than it would in the past when slicks would work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's almost like the track readings kind of changed, and it is nice. I don't even need a drill. You know?
Yeah. Just mount them up and go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. I mean, knowing that at Hoosier, silver slicks seem to be the way to go. S3 slicks for Proline guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we just show up with a couple mounted sets of tires for practice and make sure that we don't, ruin them.
Mm-hmm. Should
be good.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Then you just work on car setup a little bit, make sure you get the lines right. I don't know. Anthony Santi's on here. He wants to know, how do you get a track to the point of slicks consistently working? Well,
takes a lot of running and driving on, and if you don't have that, you kind of have to start introducing other additives.
Yeah.
You know, it's like almost like you have to, so a lot of tracks are going to a glued surface.
Yeah.
You know,
Didn't Smack Track stop doing that though?
They did, because it killed their entries, but I don't know if they did too much or what the deal was.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that there's another track that wasn't doing it, and there was some, like, maybe a carpet track. I don't remember. I got the whole story. It's been so long, I just don't remember.
There's my theory is that once you get guys that start doing slicks that are dedicated to just getting it and making it work, then the more and more guys that run slicks, the easier it is to run slicks.
Yeah.
Because
like a lot of the dust that's on the tracks is actually rubber.
Right.
From the tread anyway.
So our track has a couple unique things that are unique to us. Is that our track's not smooth. It like you said, it was probably the smoothest it's ever has been at the INS race, but our track's not very smooth. Well, slicks generally used to work only on tracks that were smooth. And then our track would build up that tire dust. And so if you did run slicks, you had to be like right there in the line. Otherwise you'd lose all your time. So I think at our track, what you'll see this weekend for the summer series again is most of us are going to be running slicks. We're just dedicated to running them now that we've seen that it works. So it's easier to get the track to that point because there won't be as much tire dust from a treaded tire.
Yeah, it's like the track's going to just groove faster that way too, because you're gonna have like cars kind of floating around on all the dust, and spinning, and it's just gonna be like kind of kneading the surface into submission to where it takes rubber.
Dude, this weekend I ran my car 3 times, twice with treads, once with slicks, just to run my car. I didn't really change anything. I just ran my car, and the track was pretty beat up and blown out, but I was still running the fastest times with silver slicks on. So.
Well, it's like when I put those smoothies on my car a week after the summer series, and I think we had like a track day or something. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah, the track was really good that day.
Yeah. Well, and it was like, maybe it was like during the week. I can't remember why I came up there, but it was like on a non-race day.
Mm-hmm.
I just threw it out there, or if it was maybe it was before people started showing up. And I was like, these things work good, and you drove it, and we're running faster lap times to slicks than we were at the Summer Series.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yep.
You know, instantly.
Yep. A couple more questions, then we'll wrap this thing up because I don't want it to run too late. I gotta go work on the track all night. Are we roughing up the smoothies?
I did one time, but that was just because I was gonna race them right away. I didn't have any time to break them in or anything. So if you have time to run them like once or twice, that's all you need to do. You don't need to scuff them up or anything, but you can if you want, but it's not really necessary.
I think I know the answer to this question, but we'll both give our takes on it. Are you guys running the longer chassis? And I'm not.
I am not. No, I'm not. I have one, and I put it on, and my car was kind of lazy, so I took it off. And I don't know if it's the end-all, be-all. Like, you need that all the time for dirt yet. I know Dustin runs one.
Yeah. I love my B4.
Yeah.
My .4. I love how aggressive that thing is. You can see the front end actually working. I like it. I like it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, my car's really good. I don't see any reason to change it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's all I got. We're not going to do any results or anything. Friday was good. Logan did put in his 2 weeks a week ago, and so Friday was his last day as race director. So I'll be back to running Friday nights as well as Saturdays. I think Emerson is going to run Tuesdays. Is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And I'll once winter comes around, I'll probably be more apt to help or to run Tuesdays as well. But with the outdoor crawling, going on, I'm out there scoring everybody, until 7, 8 o'clock. So, so keep that in mind. If you're a local and you want to come race, you got me back. I'm back on Fridays. I think Tom Smith is going to try to learn how to run races, so he might end up being Friday nighter every once in a while. And it bums me out because I definitely need somebody to run the races the weekend I'm gone to Hoosier. So
yeah, I felt bad I can't do that. Like, the whole reason I can't go to Hoosier is because my wife made plans already that weekend. So.
No, that's okay. I had asked Logan, I'm like, hey, can you just run this weekend? I know you got a job and everything, but he's like, oh, I didn't want to tell you, but I'm actually going to be gone that weekend. So then I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh, that's great. Now who am I going to get? Because we can't just not race just because I'm gone. I don't think that's a good idea,
Did Tim run it?
Yeah, he wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
So I think Tommy said he's going to try to learn how to do it, and then he can run that Friday for sure. And probably Saturday too. So that'll be the last weekend on the dirt.
Tommy's not going to Hoosier?
Nope.
No.
It's just me and Emerson. And then the rest of the crew from the Plex that's going. I think TJ, Dalton, the Vanderbeeks, Tyler Fleming, Bender.
Yeah.
That independent class, dude. Those guys better look out. Our boys are coming for him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be good. Plus it'll be fun. Kind of have our own little original Hobbyplex table.
Yeah, there you go.
So
that'll be cool.
It will be cool. All right. That's it for tonight. Kind of a weird one tonight, but that's okay. We'll be talking about the Summer Series next week. We'll be talking about the September 3rd swap meet. I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to try to sell. Swap meet. Free day.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to the Plex lately, there's an anatomically correct tiger. That's in our...
That sounds like a kid's children's book or something. The
anatomically correct tiger.
Or like a South Park character, like the...
Oh, yeah. The sexual harassment panda. It's the anatomically correct tiger.
It's the anatomically correct
Tiger. All right, we got to go. Once again, Alex Sturgeon, Hobbytown Hobbyplex. That's Will Brinton.
I'm Will Brinton.
Also, Hobbytown Hobbyplex. And don't forget, this show is sponsored by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Make sure you mention our show to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad. Get a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate and make it happen. So that's all we got. We'll be back next week to talk everything Summer Series round 4.
Yeah. Definitely. I think I only have to finish 4th to win. So trot.
Yeah, I'm pretty much lined up to not race round 5, as long as nothing crazy happens. So that's what I'm hoping for. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.